Welcome back. My next guest is a motivational speaker and author. He teaches people how to find their life's purpose and become more tolerant. He's the co-author of the book, Find Your Spinach. Please welcome Joe Miller. Thank you, Joe, for coming in.
Thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Okay, now, what's with the spinach? Why not kale? Well, what do you mean by spinach?
Spinach it's not the thing that you find in your teeth after eating a salad. Spinach is that one or several things that we each have in our heart that gives us the strength to get through life's challenges. You know, like when we were kids, we watched Popeye, and Popeye would get stuck on the train tracks, he'd be tied up, and the train's coming, and somehow, somewhere, a can of spinach would show up. He'd eat it, break the ropes, and be free. So spinach is that one thing that we all have that a lot of times people forget we have it, that gives us the strength to make it through each day.
So now that we know that spinach is really that will, that life force, tell us a little bit about your journey to finding your spinach.
Well, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been involved with lots of different companies, and by the time I was 30, I was living what a lot of people would call the American dream. I had a big house, I had 3 kids, I had a wife, I had a dog, I had the cars, I had everything you can imagine.
Sounds like the American dream.
Yeah, it was a perfect little American dream, house on the lake, everything. And if that was the American dream on the outside, on the inside I was suffering the American nightmare. By 15, I started drinking. By 20, I was drinking myself into oblivion every weekend. 25, I had to add in a devil's concoction of drugs to keep me going. And by 30, I was a full-blown alcoholic and drug addict. I lost everything. Lost my house, lost my job, lost my business, lost everything. And when I was 32, I decided it was time to quit. Quit cold turkey, and I was lost. I had no idea. I didn't like myself. I didn't like life. I didn't like anything. And, you know, I was at the bottom. So I started searching for people that could help me. And everybody I went to was promising nirvana. Read this book and life will be great. And I didn't want nirvana. I just wanted to get through each day.
What got you there to the drugs, to the...
Never really knew who I was. And I was chasing the American dream. I was chasing what society told me to go do. Got to have this, be this, have more. And I never knew what I wanted. I never took the time to research me.
So you were doing what everybody else said you should be doing.
Exactly. And it just led me to nowhere. It led me to not know who I was. And the drugs were an escape.
What was the change? What was the defining moment?
It was my 32nd birthday, and I sat and I said, you know, I got 3 gorgeous kids, I got a great wife, I got all this stuff around me, and I'm going to die. And so it was time, and I just quit that day, cold turkey. It was hard.
Yeah.
And, but you know, I searched, how do I fix this? How do I become myself again? Who is me? And I've got an older brother. He's one of those people that you love to hate. He's always happy. Nothing gets my brother Chris down, right? So Chris has this saying. Whenever someone's complaining about something, he'll say, just shut up and find your spinach. And that's stuck in my head.
So this is where you got the spinach line from your brother.
Yes, he's the founder of it.
Okay.
And so it just stuck in my head, and I went on a journey to find my spinach. And the journey...
So at 32 you realize, okay, I got to shut up and find my spinach.
Exactly. You know, I took my brother's advice. I said, I got to figure out who I am. I got to figure out what drives me, what's important to me, what's it all about.
And what drives you?
I've found now that I've got a few things that are my spinach. One is helping other people find their spinach. My kids, my wife, I love mountain climbing. Give me a mountain, I want to climb it. And those are the things that give me the strength to get through the challenges of life, because life it's not easy. And when you conquer those things, and when you figure out what really drives you, you can pull on that strength to get through it. And so now, 4 years later, I'm still clean and sober.
Congratulations.
Thank you. My wife, 3 kids, and a dog. We live in an RV. We travel all over the country, seeing all the great things. We homeschool the kids along the way, and I work some...
Now, this is a new life, a different life, totally different.
Oh, it's totally different. And it was just a matter of sitting down and figuring out, what do we really want? What's important to me? My wife, my children, my family, helping other people, climbing mountains. Well, let's get in an RV and go do it.
Was your wife ready to make that change around the same time, too? Did
Oh, yeah.
it all worked out?
You know, we're partners in it, and I got a great wife, and So she helped me through it.
Now, today we're talking about tolerance, and you say that tolerance is connected to understanding and patience.
Life's not easy. And for me, the first thing for me was I had to get self-tolerance. Everyone has their own issues, and I had to learn to love myself, and I had to learn to understand me. And when I found my spinach and understood me, then I could tolerate me. Then there's understanding other people. People do things and we don't know why. And even the people you love most, they can hurt you. They can make you sad. So if you can understand their needs.
So there's self-tolerance and then there's tolerance of others.
Absolutely. And then there's to me, there's tolerance of just life in general. You know, I tell people all the time that life is long and life is short. Life is really long when you think about your work, your career, jobs, money, that kind of stuff. Life is very short when you think about what you want to do, your friends, your family. You don't have time to do it twice. So if you can understand this, then you can have tolerance for life's bumps because you know you're going in the right direction.
Well, before we go, just one quick bit of advice for
Yeah.
people out there watching today, how they might find their spinach, just something that they can do today.
Something quick. Here's something. Take out a sheet of paper. Ask yourself the question, if I had 1 year left on this planet, what would I do? And write it down.
That's a good one.
Dig deep.
That's
Think
good.
hard. And in that, you'll find what's most important. You'll find your spinach in there.
Great. Thank you so much, Joe. And one thing you talk about in your book, you say the journey into finding your spinach should be an exciting one. So we mustn't forget that.
Absolutely.
But the journey should be fun as well.